This is Mac OS Ken.
Capitol Hill takes on big tech. Your old hardware is suddenly worth less to Apple. And never mind about those iOS 14 security updates. It is Thursday, the 20th of January, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by New Relic, helping you monitor, debug, and improve your entire stack. If you're a developer or a software engineer, you know that finding a problem in your stack can be like finding a needle in a haystack. How much time have you spent trying to find out what went wrong when something went wrong, and how much more time do you want to spend doing that? Stop it with New Relic. New Relic combines 16 different monitoring products that you would normally buy separately, so engineering teams can see across their entire software stack in one place. New Relic looks for anomalous activity and pings you, letting you catch and fix problems before they hit the end user. That is why the developer and ops teams at Atlassian, DoorDash, GitHub, and more than 14,000 other companies use New Relic to debug and improve their software. The next problem is just waiting to happen. Get New Relic before it does. And you can get access to the whole New Relic platform and 100 gigabytes of data free forever, no credit card required. Sign up at newrelic.com/macOSKen. NEWRELIC. That's newrelic.com/macOSKen. newrelic.com/macOSKen. Big day for big tech in Washington today. The Next Web has two bills targeting tech headed to committee this week: the American Innovation and Choice Online Act and the Open App Markets Act. That first one goes for markup today, according to a piece from Punchbowl. Proposed in the American Innovation and Choice Online Act, according to the Next Web, the act says companies should allow competing businesses the same access to features and operating systems as the platform's own apps. That would, for example, give Spotify the same system-level access as Apple Music on iOS. Users should be allowed to remove pre-installed apps from their devices. Theoretically, that levels the playing field between third-party developers and soup-to-nuts shops like Apple and Google. And the piece says the bill also prohibits these firms from taking advantage of non-public data to boost their own products or making their own products more prominently visible in front of consumers. As for the Open Apps Market Act, a piece from 9 to 5 Mac outlines changes it would bring. According to that report, competing app stores would be allowed on iPhones and Android phones. Consumers would choose which App Store app to download. Consumers would choose their default apps, and Apple and Google would not be allowed to do anything to give their own app stores an advantage. Personally, I find it difficult to keep track of which of these bills does what. In part, I think because Amy Klobuchar, Democrat of Minnesota, is a co-sponsor of both. Whatever the case, the American Innovation and Choice Online Act seems to be the one that's riled a couple of CEOs. The Punchbowl piece referenced earlier has Senate aides saying that both Apple CEO Tim Cook and Google CEO Sundar Pichai have been calling and meeting with senators on the Judiciary panel, urging them to oppose this new legislation. The piece goes on to say the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has circulated a letter urging lawmakers to vote no. A number of major tech players, Microsoft, Google, Twitter, Apple, Spotify, and Amazon, have all disclosed that they're lobbying on the proposal. Arguing against Apple and Google, the Next Web says a group of companies including Basecamp, DuckDuckGo, Genius, Quora, and Sonos wrote a letter to the committee to support the bill. Of course, Apple and Google are against it. In addition to the on-the-QT phone calls from the CEOs, a piece from Mac Rumors has Apple lumping the two bills together and calling them bad for consumers. I will say, Apple lumping them together makes me feel better about not being able to tell them apart. Citing a letter it's seen from Timothy Powderly, Apple's Senior Director of Government Affairs, to the Senate Judiciary Committee, Mac Rumors has Powderly arguing that the bills would hurt competition and discourage innovation by making it much harder to protect the privacy and security of personal devices in the U.S. Quoting the letter, "These bills will reward those who have been irresponsible with users' data and empower bad actors who would target customers with malware, ransomware, and scams. The bills put consumers in harm's way because of the real risk of privacy and security breaches. In addition to making privacy and security protections nearly impossible to defend, the bills would actually allow predators and scammers to sidestep Apple's privacy and security protections completely. This circumvention is possible because the bills would mandate sideloading, or the direct installation of software from the internet, in a way that circumvents the privacy and security protections Apple has designed, including human review of every app and every app update." Mac Rumors goes on to say Apple says that the bill would be a big win for those who would profit by collecting even more personal information, and that millions of Americans could be deceived into installing unwanted malicious software and would suffer preventable malware attacks. Regulators should not ignore the benefits that consumers receive from Apple. Google has not been silent, by the way. The Next Web says the search giant published a long blog post listing several negative consequences of these bills. Google said in part, "There are important discussions taking place about the rules of the road for the modern economy. We believe that updating technology regulations in areas like privacy, AI, and protections for kids and families could provide real benefits, but breaking our products wouldn't address any of these issues." The way Punchbowl sees it, the odds of this legislation getting approved by judiciary are very good. Whether it can get through the full Senate is another matter. If you're thinking about trading in your sorta swanky Android phone for something with an Apple logo, yeah, you maybe should have done that last week. Mac Rumors says Apple has dropped the maximum trade-in value for Samsung Galaxy devices as well as Google Pixels. Like the phones themselves, the changes are all over the map. For example, the max value on a Samsung Galaxy S9 dropped from $75 to $65, while the max value on a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra dropped from $545 to $405. Lest you think this is Apple picking on the robots, it is not. The company also dropped the trade-in values on a lot of its own hardware, according to the report. You can find out more about the company's trade-in program on Apple's site. Hey, remember the confusion around the disappearance of iOS 14 security updates? During WWDC last year, Apple said that folks who did not want to make the move from iOS 14 to iOS 15, but who did want to keep getting security updates, would have that option. They'd have their choice between two software update versions, according to the company, keeping the stay-behinds safe. Last week, a few sites pointed out that Apple has pushed out a couple of iOS 15 updates since December, with no corresponding security release for iOS 14. The assumption was that Apple had changed its corporate mind about the two-version thing. Now Mac Rumors says it has not changed its corporate mind, but it is done with the two-version thing. The report has Apple telling Ars Technica that the option to stay on iOS 14 and avoid the iOS 15 upgrade was always meant to be temporary. It is not a mistake that there are no more security updates to iOS 14, and support for the update has essentially ended. How hard would it have been to say, until the end of the year? More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. What would you do if you didn't have high-interest loans or credit card debt? With Upstart, you can pay off your existing debt quickly and easily and start doing whatever that is. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, factoring in income and current employment. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART, that's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Upstart.com/macOSKen. News of a neat addition for Apple Pay in Poland. iMore says that country's Conotoxia has added Apple Pay support. What I find interesting about Conotoxia is it lets users pay for things in over 160 different currencies. I don't know about you, but I can name 10 currencies. Maybe. Offering reasons for the support, the payment platform said, Conotoxia brings its multi-currency card users Apple Pay, a safer, more secure, and private way to pay that helps customers avoid handing their payment card to someone else, touching physical buttons, or exchanging cash, and uses the power of iPhone and Apple Watch to protect every transaction. Good for transactions online and off. iMore says Conotoxia's free multi-currency Visa debit card is good wherever Visa is accepted. That includes the EU, the UK, and the US. Apple TV Plus has offered a short glimpse at WeCrashed. That's the limited series about the rise and demise of the space-sharing startup WeWork. According to a piece from Engadget, the 8-episode drama stars Jared Leto as former WeWork CEO Adam Neumann, who wielded hype to earn a $47 billion valuation, only to lose most of it and his job when the IPO process revealed ugly financials and leadership. Anne Hathaway plays Adam's wife, Rebecca, who served as an executive, including the head of WeGrow, and whose relationship with Adam was at the center of it all. WeCrashed hits Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 18th of March. You can see the teaser now on YouTube. With just a couple of days before heading back to it, Apple has offered a first look at the series Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. iDownload Blog says the 5-minute feature has footage of the show, as well as details from some members of the creative team, and some of the show's voice actors, including Ed Helms, Daveed Diggs, and Cynthia Erivo. Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock rolls onto Apple TV Plus tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of January. If you want a first look before the full look, you can catch the feature now on YouTube. It's not an award for Apple TV Plus, but sort of an award by association. Deadline says Jon Stewart, formerly of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and currently of the Apple TV Plus series The Problem with Jon Stewart, is being honored with the Kennedy Center's Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. According to the report, the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor recognizes individuals who have had an impact on American society in ways similar to the distinguished 19th century novelist and essayist Samuel Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain. This year's ceremony, the first since 2019 due to the pandemic, marks the 23rd year that the Mark Twain Award will be presented and broadcast nationally. In announcing the honor, Kennedy Center President Deborah F. Rutter was quoted as saying, "For more than 3 decades, Jon Stewart has brightened our lives and challenged our minds as he delivers current events and social satire with his trademark wit and wisdom. Tuning into his television programs over the years has always been equal parts entertainment and truth." Acknowledging the award, Stewart said, "I am truly honored to receive this award. I have long admired and been influenced by the work of Mark Twain, or, as he was known by his given name, Samuel Leibovitz." The 23rd Mark Twain Prize for American Humor will be presented on the 24th of April. The award site does not list a broadcast date at this time. And finally today, here is something crazy. You know that fancy schmancy $19 polishing cloth Apple sells? The one that was sold out for months and just came back in stock? Do you know how to clean the cleaning rag? If you're like me, you're thinking dry cleaning. I'm with Seinfeld on this one, by the way. Demanding dry cleaning is pretty much asking the impossible. Anyway, a piece from Cult of Mac says no dry cleaning required. You just wash the thing with dish soap and water. Sounds like Cult of Mac trying to ruin your $19 Apple cloth so you'll buy theirs instead. Turns out, though, this is actually Apple's advice for cleaning the thing with which you clean. On a support page outlining how to clean the nano-texture glass on your Apple display are instructions for how to clean the polishing cloth, which sounds more dirty every time I say it. The instructions are: hand wash the polishing cloth with dish soap and water, rinse thoroughly, allow the polishing cloth to air dry for at least 24 hours. Kind of feels to me like Apple missed a bet. I'd have suggested polishing cloth polish, $10 an ounce or 2 for $20. A bargain at twice the price. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by New Relic. Monitor, debug, and improve your entire stack and get 100 gigabytes of data free. Learn more and get started at newrelic.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Upstart, fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways: info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.